What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's All Tea, All Shade Couples Retreat, Season 2, Episode 4 review. We pick up exactly where we left off last week with Danny pretty much being an asshole to Jess by saying he really can't even participate in the exercise because he's not in love with her. They're not in love with each other, this, that, and the third. So she's embarrassed, of course, as anyone would be. And she just shuts down at this point because he keeps on doing embarrassing shit and saying like just harsh things. And he don't even have to be that harsh. So Ronnie is like, you need to express yourself. Like, just don't shut down. Say what you mean. But AJ and John Sally come over and interrupt. But Danny in his confessional was like, I don't understand why everybody feels some type of way when I'm just telling the truth. I'm just speaking the truth. And da 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 da. And I'm like, he is an asshole. Like, why do you even like him? Like, he corny and whack as fuck. I don't know if he was doing all that to impress the other guys, but at some point during the episode, I didn't even think it was that because everybody was looking at him sideways. The men too, and he still didn't care. So AJ says that they're going to do a speed dating exercise where, they're going to, switch, partners and all of that stuff and be able to talk about the games that couples play with each other. So AJ asks Nick, is it a game he plays when he acts like he don't want to be bothered with Kiana just to throw her off? And he admits that he does do that. And so she was like, oh, okay, I was right about that. Keep on, carry on or whatever. Kiana says that, one of the games that she plays is by denying him sex when she feels some type of way. So she realizes that they both childish and need to stop playing games. Shamari tells Styles P that one of the things she does is that like she a fart on Ronnie and all of this goofy ass shit and he don't like it. And I was like, who would? Like, I would beat your ass if you sit up here and fart on me or fart in front of me and think the shit is funny. And that's not, like, it's trifling and it would turn me off. Like, I don't give a damn how pretty you are, how nice of a body you got. That's nasty. Like, of course you gonna have moments where you slip up and fart in front of your partner or whatever the case may be. But just to do it on purpose all the time and think that it's funny, like, that's nasty. And that would make my dick go so soft. But Styles found that shit to be funny as hell. Jess says that the things that Danny says does, in fact, hurt her. But she tries to act like it doesn't and keep, a brave face on. KJ tells her that something about him just don't seem right. Like, something about this dude just ain't right. And I agree. Like, I don't know if he with her because of who she is, for clout. I don't know, but he don't like you, girl. So keep it the fuck moving. So Ronnie asks Rada about her 16-year marriage before she met Mike. I didn't even know that she was married before she met Mike. I don't know if that was even brought up season 1, but apparently she was married for 16 years. And then after she got out of her marriage, she was out here living life, doing her, having fun. And then she met Mike and she was down with the shits in the beginning. But at the core of her, she is a commitment type girl. So what I think what Rada did was she presented herself to Mike as to be this party girl. She down for whatever. I'm in with this freaky shit. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that she is one of those women that thought, okay, we'll do this for now, but I'll be able to change him. I'll be able to get him to commit to me and leave the other women alone. He'll change. He'll realize how much he loves me. And that hasn't happened because she misrepresented herself. She didn't keep it real with him. So now he's looking like she down with it. She loved this. That's what she said. I told her who I am. So this whole time, Michael has been very transparent about who he is and what he wants, but she hasn't. And I think deep down inside, he knows what she wants, but he keeps on going back to what she initially said and dangling that at like a carrot in front of her face and using that to keep her attached to him because I believe he does care for her. I believe in his own way he does love her, but will he commit to her and be faithful? Absolutely not. because he got some shit with him that he needs to work on, that he has this insatiable appetite to fuck all these women. Like, he needs to find out, what is that about? What is that about? Because that shit is nasty. That is nasty. And it's gonna take for that nigga to get something, like, ew, gross, like, ugh. So AJ says that Mike pretty much strings Rada along, and he denies it. He says that's not true because Rada knew what it was from day one. And yes, she did know what it was from day one, but you know what it is now. And like I said, he uses that to his advantage. So Claudia says that she doesn't tell KJ how she really feels about things, and that in the beginning, you know, they were super affectionate and stuff, and then they got comfortable, and now it's like they're a brother and sister. I don't never want to say the nigga I'm fucking is like my brother. Like, nah, bruh. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I know that it was said that Claudia said that her and old boy came on the show just for the check and they was faking. I don't bit mo believe that. I think Claudia came on this show and got embarrassed. And so to save face for the fact that she's still with his ass, she going with this narrative that they just came on the show for a check. Girl, bye. That nigga embarrassed your ass on national television and said he didn't want to fuck you. You didn't see that shit coming. So, yeah. So, AJ tells her they need to be more lovers than friends and brothers and sisters, like, because that's weird. KJ says that he does pick at Claudia to see if she'll change. So like, he'll say little fucked up shit to honestly, basically what he was saying, like, hurt her feelings enough to see if she'd be like, okay, well, I need to change this, and it's not working. And there's a better way to communicate than trying to hurt your partner's feelings. Like, these people are crazy. So Shamari is still over there with I forgot who she was over there. Oh, she was with KJ at this point. And Seagull shits on her forehead and she loses it. And as you can see in this photo on the screen, that white circle on her forehead is Seagull shit. So everybody is cracking up, laughing at her. They wiping the shit off her forehead and off her forearm. I would have went to go wash my face. Fuck that, just wiping the shit off of me. No, I'm going to wash my face and my body. That is disgusting. Actually, you guys, I had a bird shit on me, on my head, when I was a little girl, and I was traumatized. But I always heard it's supposed to bring you good luck, child. But I was so traumatized. That shit was fucking disgusting. So later on that night, the couples have dinner, but AJ and John tells them that they're going to be separated. They're also told that they're going to have to swap phones. And if you don't have anything to hide, you know, it shouldn't be a problem. So Kiana is shocked when Nick just hands over his phone without no hesitation. He like, here, girl. And that was really big for her, that we find out later on doing this whole exercise, and the reason why. So they swap phones. Shamari and Ronnie swap phones. Styles P and Ajua swap phones, but Jess and Danny don't. Claudia and KJ don't, and Rada and Michael don't. Rada wanted to, Michael didn't want to. He kept on saying that's an invasion of privacy. She's supposed to have her privacy. I'm supposed to have mine. I don't feel like that's necessary. I don't want to go through her phone. No, nigga, you knew some shit in there that you didn't want her to fucking see. But I'm like, and she even said this later on, like, I already know you fucking other bitches, so what is it that you don't want me to see? Like, what the fuck is going on? And then with Claudia and KJ, she saw that he was uncomfortable and didn't want to really switch phones. So she was like, we ain't got to do it. Then with Jess and Danny, he didn't want to do it. So she was like, fuck it, we ain't got to do it. So it was pretty much all the dudes that did not want to hand over their phone, which would tell you everything you pretty much need to know. So they separate into, you know, girls. There's a girls' table and then there's a guys' table. And Mike is over here dressed like a goddamn bellhop. He looked a mess in that outfit, child. And I'm looking like, Rada, this is who you want to be with? Bellhop at the Four Seasons Hotel, girl. I can hook you up with some accommodations. You ain't got to date this nigga. What the fuck is going on? So the girls sit with each other, and Claudia tells AJ that she didn't swap with KJ because A, he looked uncomfortable, and because B, she does have exes that have reached out to her just to see how she is and this, that, and the third. But AJ calls bullshit. She calls bullshit, and she was like, I really think you did it for him. And Claudia was like, no, I did it for me. I don't believe her at all, because if it's just an ex reaching out just to see how you are and it ain't shit going on, then why hide it? Why? No, you didn't do it because he didn't want to do it. So I honestly think that he might be talking to somebody else. I mean, he don't even like fucking her. So of course he probably talking to other women. Rada wonders, is Michael hiding something? Because like I said, she knows he's fucking other women. So now at this point, she wondering, like, is he talking shit about me? Like, what's going on? Rada, girl, just leave this man alone. You're not going to get what you want. Exit stage left, girl. You are wasting time, precious time with this ugly ass nigga. Gross. So Ajua says that, Rada looks unhappy. And Rada telling me something, I'm going to tell him what it is, and if he don't do it, I'm going to leave him. And she's still saying the same shit she been saying. And at this point, even AJ is looking at her like, girl, I am tired of the lies and you going back and forth and being wishy-washy about what the hell you saying you going to do. Because one minute you saying you love him and I am happy, then the next minute you sitting up here looking like you about to jump off a cliff. Like, which one is it, girls? Like, please. And I just love Ajua. Ajua is so fucking beautiful. So Kiana tells the girls that, she used to go through Nick's phone so much, like it became like a mini obsession for her. Like he sleeps so hard that she would literally take his thumb to open up his phone and just sit there all night going through his shit. That it got to the point where she was just like, I gotta stop this. It ain't even that worth it. So the fact that he just gave up his phone so easily really showed that he ain't on nothing, and that they have, made progress in their relationship. And I have to say, she looked stunning in this scene. Her skin, my nigga, looked so smooth and supple and almondy. She looked so pretty. Nick, you better hold on to her. She is gorgeous. So Nick, however, is at the guys' table telling them that, he understands that she's trying to find her place in his world, in this, celebrity world, and how he understands she wants to go to school and everything, but when she's, working on school, she's not as present. And right as he says that, her phone dings, and he realized she got a text message, but it was from her. She texts her phone from his phone, and he just get the cheesing because she tells him that she loves him. He was like, she loved me, y'all. It was the cutest thing ever. And, like she said, you just made her feel really good to see how far they've come. And then it made him feel good to see her, be affectionate towards him. And it was a really cute moment for them. And they really, honestly, made a step forward in their relationship. Then we get to Danny's whack ass. Like, I'm like, why do we even spend time on this clown buffoon ass nigga? So he tells the guys that, he just likes to be blunt. He's very truthful. There's no reason to lie. And KJ across the table looking at him like, nigga, is you serious? And he was like, it's not about what you say, but it's your tone. You can say that, but in a different way. You know what I'm saying? And even Styles was trying to tell him like, yeah, dude, it's cool to be truthful. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to say it in such a harsh way that will hurt somebody's feelings. So back at the ladies' table, Jess tells AJ how her last relationship was with Country Wayne and how it was a public fiasco because as soon as they got together, seriously, she found out that he was going through some marriage shit. And Claudia asked her who loved her more or treated her better, Country Wayne or Danny. And she was like, oh, Wayne, 100%. Even with all the bullshit he took her through. And I was like, well, goddamn, bitch, if that's the case, then you really need to leave this nigga alone. And Claudia was like, yeah, that tell you everything you need to know right there. So Danny says that he thinks he treats Jess great. He thinks that everything is just peachy king. And Styles and KJ once again try to give him advice on how to, be nicer. Like, cause he's just a dickhead. He's an asswad. He is a fucking dodo head. Like, I don't like this nigga. Like, he is so fucking lame. And I'm looking like, do you not see these niggas around this table that are fucking millionaires looking at you like, like, yo, whack ass. Like, they wouldn't even probably talk to you outside of this shit. So Jess is over at her table crying because she says, she built herself. She came from nothing, and that she's never had a love from a man, even from her baby daddy. And she's tired because she know what she want, and she don't want to deal with the bullshit anymore. And AJ was like, well, if that's the case, stop settling. You don't have to settle for nothing. Like, you are in control of this. So Ronnie and Shamari and KJ and Claudia, after the whole dinner exercise, are in one of the rooms talking about Michael and Rada when Michael walks in looking like he about to take their order or hang up their coats. And so they was like, oh shit, speaking of that, we were just talking about you. So they, telling him that, Rada wants a commitment out of you. She don't want to do this shit with you no more. He, however, says that, they worried more about their relationship than they own. They don't need to be worried about that. And she's fine. And he just sitting there looking like a goddamn fool. So later on that night, we see Jess in her room arguing with Danny, and she's telling him that, they ain't never had these problems until they got there, with him being so goddamn disrespectful and how he overtalk her. He don't listen. He always running his goddamn mouth about shit. And it's just one thing after another. He stayed in the bed trying to talk, and she like, if you would shut up and let me speak. And she was like, see, that's why I got another room right now. Then next thing you know, he's telling her, I respect you. And she was like, no, the fuck you don't. And she leaves. And I was like, child, that's about as most emotion you even got out this nigga. The next day, which is day 5, Danny talks to the camera alone, and he says that, Jess is really truly a softie, and that he needs to be more cautious of the way that he talks to her in his delivery. And I'm like, oh, now that she done cussed your ass out, now you get that. The men was trying to tell your ass that all day yesterday, but you didn't fucking want to listen, you fucking dickhead. So we then find out that Nick's father had a stroke, and it actually happened 2 days before. Nobody had told him. I guess they wanted to see if he was going to get better before they worried him with it. But his father had a stroke. He fell down the stairs, and he's unconscious in the hospital. So, of course, he and Kiana leave. They don't know if they're going to be able to come back. They hope they can return, but of course, his father is what's more important, and the episode goes off. I give tonight's episode of Couples Retreat an A. I really truly enjoyed it. The only couples that I see so far out of this that need to be together in the end is Kiana and Nick. I think that they do have a chance. Shamari and Ronnie, of course. Ajawa and Styles P. Claudia and KJ, absolutely not. They literally look like they could be brothers and sisters and act like it. Rada and Michael need to leave each other the fuck alone. And Jess needs to find somebody that actually likes her and appreciates her and just doesn't tolerate her for whatever reason. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about tonight's episode down below in the comments section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.